Hey friends, your friend Andy here with another episode of the podcast. This is a shorter episode of the podcast, but I think a very important one for people to hear. The truth about investing is that it's hard. After you get paid, take care of all your bills and whatever else, maybe you don't have anything left for investing. Or maybe you just have a small amount and you wonder, will this actually make a difference? But the reality is that investing is absolutely crucial. So let me try to make it a bit easier for you with some thoughts, insights, and tips. But first, a quick word from this episode's sponsor, Relay. If you are like me, then you are either a small business owner or you would like to start your own small business one day. And when you do that, you're going to need a banking solution that's truly built just for your business. That means no fees, no minimum balances, and no bookkeeping problems when tax season rolls around. Because why would you want to make tax season even less fun? That's where Relay comes in. Relay is an online banking and money management platform that's a perfect fit for small businesses and one I recommend. Again, Relay has no account fees, no overdraft fees, and no minimum balances, which means you get to keep more in your pocket. One of my favorite features is that you can get up to 20 individual accounts, including 2 savings accounts, to organize and allocate income for things like day-to-day expenses, investments, or taxes. You can now earn up to 3% APY on savings with Relay savings accounts. You can create virtual and physical debit cards for you and your employees in seconds. And best of all, Relay makes your bookkeeping speedy and meticulous by giving you ultra-detailed transaction data and directly syncing it back to QuickBooks Online and Xero. And so many other amazing features I don't have time to tell you about here. Really, they do a lot. It only takes 10 minutes to apply for a free Relay account, and you can do it online at relayfi.com/yourfriendandy. Again, that is relayfi.com/yourfriendandy. Okay, let's jump into this episode. Okay, and we're back. Let's get into it. First, you need to ask yourself, why am I investing? This first step to making investing easier seems obvious, but most miss it. You need a why. If you don't have a North Star reason for why you are investing, it will be even harder than it already is. Using the reason, I want to be rich, is better than nothing, but I think you should dig deeper than that. If you have a family, maybe it's ensuring their future and security. You never want them to go without and always want to be provided for. Maybe it's because you don't want to work until you're 65 and you want the freedom to do whatever you want and not need to make a paycheck. Either one or both of those are great reasons. Whatever your reasons, you need to define them. And I would even encourage you to write them down and put them somewhere to remind you. It might seem cheesy, but writing things down can make them more real. I don't know why, I just know that it can work. I also know that once you figure out your motivation for why you should invest, you will have a much easier time with it. Now, once you have your why, it's time to understand how investing works over the years. Not over days, or weeks, or even months. You need to think in years. Years, you might ask? Who's got time for years? Well, successful investors. That's who. One of the biggest mistakes investors make is thinking too short-term and expecting life-changing gains in less than a year. And yes, that can happen, but don't expect it or plan for it. Understand that to be successful with investing, it will likely take years. And understand that if a specific investment is currently down a lot, give it enough time, and if it's a good investment, it will go back up. Unfortunately, humans are very short-term thinkers by default. We exist in the here and now, and we more often than not think that way. So how can you start to think long-term? Well, investment calculators are actually really helpful for this. Start plugging in your current investments, how much you'll contribute, what the expected return is, and then see how much you'll have in 5, 10, or 25 years or longer. Then start playing around with adding a few bucks more per month and see how dramatic those small changes can actually make over the long haul. It will help shape how you view investing. It will show you that even small changes can have significant impacts given enough time. I also recommend vision casting and speaking to the future. Write down your long-term goals and then write them out as if you were going to do them. Don't write, I want to become a millionaire. Instead, write down, I will become a millionaire. Or, I will become a millionaire by age 40. This is partly manifestation and partly making goals. Now, I do not believe that you can actually physically manifest things like miraculously just by writing them down or saying them or putting them out into the universe. However, I do very strongly believe in the power of belief and its effects it has on your mind. Someone who regularly tells themselves that they will be successful is infinitely more likely to actually achieve some success than the person who doesn't believe it or the person who is actively negative about the possibility. The next step is you need to find the money to invest. For me, this meant I had to do something that was not sexy and something I didn't want to do. I had to start budgeting. Personally, I use and love YNAB, which is short for You Need a Budget, but you can use whatever budgeting tool you want. All that matters is that you figure out how to still have even a little bit of money left over in a month to invest. And I do realize that budgeting not only sounds terrible, but most people, even though they know they need to do it, actually won't do it. But for the 1% of people who hear this message and actually do start budgeting, you will find right away just how powerful this is, but also just how freeing it is. Because believe it or not, budgeting is not restrictive. Spending all your money and scrambling to pay your bills or stressing about money over time is restrictive. Budgeting is just a fancy word for having a plan for your money, and that should seem smart to just about anyone. Once you find even a little bit of money to invest, run some calculators. Just like I talked about already, it's so important that you do the math and realize that given enough time, even small amounts of money can turn into giant amounts. Ideally, you want to invest as much as possible, but even smaller amounts like $150 a month can turn into almost $350,000 in 30 years. All you need is time on your side. And if that doesn't seem like enough, well, then invest more. But having $300,000 instead of zero is a massive difference. I'll link to the investment calculator that I like and use pretty often down in the description or show notes. For the next step, I'm sorry to be Captain Obvious here, but one of the best ways to make investing easier is to make more money. This could be a raise at your job. It could be starting a side hustle or a business. There are unlimited options on how to make more money these days. And if you follow my YouTube channel, you'll see that I have a playlist of all my side hustles and all my make money online videos that I have made to date. There is no shortage of ideas for making more money. It just comes down to actually doing them. Investing isn't easy. Making more money isn't easy, but both are very worth it. And if you need the extra motivational bump, combine this step with the using an investment calculator step. If you figured out a side hustle that only takes 2 to 3 hours a week and makes an extra $150 a week, that's $600 of extra money a month to invest. And then put that into a dead simple S&P 500 index fund for 20 years, and you have an extra $500,000 saved and invested. That's massive. If you increase that income, it gets even bigger. I think you can see why even a few $100 of extra money can be a game changer. One of my biggest hacks for investing more was from me buying more income. And what does that mean? Well, build passive income investments that pay you. Then use that money to invest even more. I have a bunch of passive income streams that pay me every single month. These give me access to $10,000 or more of extra money every month that I can invest. This also takes time to work towards, but once you get some momentum, it can be crazy powerful. This is basically what I teach in my community Sleep Money Club. We have guides and courses on proven passive income strategies. But beyond that, Sleep Money Club is also just a great place to hang out with fellow investors and like-minded people. And that makes this not so easy investing journey much easier because you aren't doing it alone. And the best part is that we have a 7-day, no-risk free trial. If you want to make passive income, you need to check out the club. There is a link in the description and show notes. But I also cover lots of passive income opportunities in so many of my free videos on YouTube. There's never been a time when passively income generating investments have been this accessible to everyone as long as you have an internet connection and a bit of money to start. And if you do start building your passive income, I promise that when you get those first few dollars starting to roll in completely passively every week or every month, you'll see the power and be hooked. I hope this gave you a few things to think about when it comes to investing. I'm not special. If I can do all this investing for my future stuff, well then so can you. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I will see you in the next one.